Hello, everybody. Today is June 24th, 2025. I wanted to talk about a few things that's been on my mind that I've been also seeing in the world, especially here in Las Vegas, Nevada, where I live, and basically what's on my mind. Um, a lot of you may not agree with what Trump did to Iran, but I can understand why he did it. Iran should never be in possession of nuclear weapons. They're evil, they're hateful, they're jihadists, the biggest majority of them. I'm sure there's some that aren't, and I'm sure that there are some that are innocent people. However, that said, in my honest opinion, I do think that he should have nuked them off the map entirely and made an example of them to any other country who has a hatred towards the United States, that they will get the exact same thing that Iran did, which is being nuked off the map entirely. Now, if you look in both history and biblically, the Jewish people are God's chosen people. And being raised both Protestant and Catholic, and also with my experience in studying and practicing other religious beliefs, I have to side with God's chosen people. You can hate me for it. I don't care. Now, as far as the so-called protest that's been going on in the country, if most of you Americans are that ignorant, that stupid, and that delusional that you don't know that the Democratic Party is the one that is funding certain people to organize these things to happen, then you're a lost cause. I never thought I would ever see our country torn apart. I never thought I would see the level of violence and hatred and division. Um, and it really saddens me. With Biden opening the borders the way he did, and no one was being properly vetted, we have all kinds of people who came here into our country who hate this country. We have sleeper cells here in this country, and we don't even know where the hell they're at. They want to destroy our country from the inside out. America was founded by our forefathers on the principles of morals and Christianity and God. And we need God back in this country. Now, I don't believe you have to go to church as a Christian to believe and worship God. You can worship God sitting in a field of flowers. You can worship God sitting in a park or on the beach or at the lake or up in the mountains where you're camping. You can worship God. You can worship God in your home. It doesn't have to be in a church. And a lot of these churches, regardless of the denomination that you belong to, a lot of Satan's minions are in that church. They're serving as bishops, as deacons, as pastors, ministers, priests, whatever you want to call them. And they are teaching falsehoods. They are taking things out of the Bible and twisting it to fit their narrative. The Bible is not meant for us to interpret it in our own interpretation. The Bible is meant to be interpreted as it is. You can't read that Bible and interpret it to your own understanding. You have to interpret it to God's understanding. Now, we're all humans, and humans are sinners. This is why Christ died for us. Now, I respect your beliefs if you're a Buddhist, a Methodist, a Catholic, if you're pagan. I respect your belief. You believe what you want. America was founded on the freedom to practice your religion. But where I draw the line is Muslims in this country with their religious views and creating communities where they have Sharia law. Their goal is to destroy our country, and we cannot have that. If they want to practice Sharia law, then they need to go back to their country of origin. Because as Americans, we should not tolerate that shit. Period. As Americans, we should not tolerate the Democrats' socialist, Marxist, and communist policies. Me, as an American and a hardcore patriot, I have absolutely zero tolerance for that. I have zero tolerance for Muslims here who want to live in their little community with Sharia law. Get them out of here. And get the sleeper cells out. Now, I am not against people immigrating to America for a better life for them and their family. But you do it the right way, the legal way. You go through the vetting process, the background checks. You go through the citizenship classes, just like Elon Musk did. And I have a message for these little celebrities that I've been seeing on YouTube or X saying, oh, well, they're going to leave the country because of what Trump's doing and his policies. Well, if you want to leave the country, then leave. But before you do, you better sever your citizenship with this country, and you better never, ever, ever set foot back on this on American soil ever again. You think you can go somewhere else and live a better life in a different country? By all means. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord will split you. I mean, right now, I live next door to a lady. She speaks no English whatsoever. And she's bringing up all of these illegals from Mexico and South America. And they're all piled up in her house, her apartment next door to me. And the people living up in there go around here trying to bully and threaten the other tenants here. And they need to go. And our manager, harboring people and knowing that these people are in her apartment complexes that she manages, she needs to suffer the consequences for it. If that means she loses her job and goes to jail, oh well. And if the owner of these properties knows about it, needs to lose his properties and go to prison over it. There should be a zero tolerance policy on that. And, I think that regardless of whether you're a Democrat congressman or woman, a Democratic senator, a Republican, be it Congress or Senate, or a rhino that is a Congress or Senate, or an independent or Green Party, if you side with these socialist, Marxist, communist policies and the woke agenda and pushing transgender ideology down American kids' throats and changing their genders, kids don't even know who they are, let alone what they want. They can't make life-altering adult decisions. Then you need to be held accountable for your actions and backing these violent protests. You need to go to prison. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the highest form of treason. You're a traitor. Anyone who burns the American flag is a traitor. And all traitors need to be doing life in prison without parole. You need to suffer those consequences. Back when our country was founded, and it's a historical fact, that our forefathers, if you were found to be a traitor to this country, the punishment for that traitor was the death penalty. That's a historical fact. But everyday people like you and me need to stand up and have the balls to hold these people accountable, to call these people out on your social media platforms. Do not let your voice be silent. Do not let them silence you. I won't, and neither should you. But from what I'm seeing with everyday people like me, they don't have the balls. They don't want to get involved. And to me, that makes you a traitor in my eyes. In my eyes, that makes you not a patriot. America has given to this country. It has given to its people over its history the American dream. And by you doing nothing, you're spitting on the very country who has supported and defended you. You're spitting on the very people who served and died for this country, as far as I'm concerned. And it's rather disgusting. I have a hatred for those who are not patriotic. I have a hatred for traitors. I have a hatred for the evil and the corrupt, and those who weaponize our government, and those who steal from the taxpayers and lie to us. We, the people, are the bosses of the very people we elect. We need to send a message that if they do not do the will of the people, they can lose their seat. We, the people, need to demand that they do not make money off of us and that they will not be allowed to do insider stock market trading. And if they're caught doing so, that they do 30 years in prison for it. Enough is enough. Yes, I left my Democratic Party and I became a Republican. Yes, I am conservative. I am not an extreme right conservative because I do have an open mind. And I can respect other people's opinions and points of view. However, from the first day I registered as a Republican, I will forever be MAGA. God bless America. God bless Trump and J.D. Vance. I would like to say thank you to Donald Trump, Kristi Noem, Elon Musk, J.D. Vance, and Tom Homan for doing what they're doing to make this country great, for trying to drain the swamp and going after the deep state, and for securing our borders. I want to thank each and every one of them for that. Oh, and Mr. Tom Homan, you need to send ICE over here to Royal Crest Street because we have some illegals up in this apartments over here. God bless you, America, and have a blessed day.